Hi bro, hi bro.
My usual partner and stadium. The teams will stay in a biosecure bubble, and we're going to miss the fans. But the whole league will be held across the state of Goa in 3 stadiums. ATK and Mohun Bagan have joined hands, and that's the biggest news coming through. So they will come together as one entity. That's not all, because their traditional rivals, the powerhouses of Kolkata, SC East Bengal, have also joined the fray. And along with that, the big news coming through is that we've got the fixture list coming at you. So, Mace, without further ado, before we look ahead to this season, let's look back at the season that was, your fondest memory from the season gone by.
Oh my goodness, you really throw me on the spot there, haven't you? There was plenty, wasn't there? I think what we saw, I think what we saw with Christian and Williams was a big thing, and the link up that they had at ATK, and the importance that those two players played. That was unbelievable and massive for me. And you've got to turn around, and we do have to highlight Chennai, the way that they'd started the season under John Gregory. He left, then all of a sudden Owen Coyle came in. A little bit more about him later on. But boy, oh boy, didn't he make a difference last season to Chennai. And I think it was a good season. I think it has got better. The pace has been injected into it. Obviously, Goa winning the Shield, which they did, being the league champions at the end of the league stage of the competition, was absolutely outstanding, and good luck to them in their future endeavours when it comes to AFC. But for me, the season as a whole, the likes of Boomu, they set us alight, didn't they? You know, Gurpreet in goal, winning the Golden Glove, Valskis, Beche, you know, with the amount of goals that they scored. I mean, there was absolutely plenty to talk about last year, and that's the tip of the iceberg, because as you've mentioned, with the big powerhouses coming in and joining us this year, ATK and Mohun Bagan obviously joining themselves together, and of course SC East Bengal coming into the league. I mean, that is massive news, and it bodes well for season 7.
I can't wait for it to get started, but obviously the changes due to the pandemic mean it'll be a very different season. I mean, what can we expect? Because you don't expect the intensity to drop in any way, despite the fact that there won't be any stadium attendance as far as fans are concerned.
I'll tell you what to expect, Anand. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, that's true.
It's as simple as that, because it's neutral now. The best thing is the fans can catch all the action throughout the whole of the season. There's going to be loads of debates, loads of talking points, loads going on that they can watch.
Yeah, but there's lots been done by the league for all the fans to know. There are medical safety protocols that are being put into place. The teams are being looked after. We've already mentioned that there'll be 3 stadiums, and every team has a designated home ground. So there will still be a semblance of a home and away fixture for them. There's also a lot of fan activation that's going on in terms of virtual attendance in the stadium, a fan wall as well. I'm really excited to see all that and how that whole piece comes together, because a league as big as, say, the IPL did not happen in India, but the ISL will now have a lot of eyes on it because of the fact that it's happening right here in our neck of the woods.
It's a massive statement, Anand, you know, and it's the trust in football as well to carry that torch and to be the bearers of what's going to happen with sports in India in the future. So there's a lot of trust, a lot of responsibility that have been given by the government authorities to football, and it's up to football to make sure that they continue it and do it in the right way.
Staying in Goa within a distance of 1.5 hours from the stadiums, which means players get more time to recover as compared to other seasons.
Yeah, it's going to be vitally important, because it's going to be a long season. As you mentioned, there's more matches this year, but they've got to add in and build in a little bit of extra rest for the players. It's going to be tough the way that they've had to do their pre-season this year, so that rest will come in handy for them.
Also, the training pitches come in, because every club has a dedicated training pitches, which they do not share with any club, which will not just allow them to train at their convenience in the preseason, but also during the course of it. So as you can see, plenty of changes there. But don't forget, matches kick off at 7:30 and doubleheader on Sundays, with the first match at 5 p.m. Right, let's jump to the fixture list now, beginning with round number 1.
it's now become almost like a showcase. We know what's coming down.
I do
It's going to be really intriguing and very, very interesting to see them going up against the
ஜம்ஷெட்பூர் கூட
reigning
சென்னை
champions,
எஃப்சிக்கு
ATK Moen Bagan. So those two sides going head to head. Well, they got turned over twice last year, didn't they, ATK? Of course, Elko Shatori was in charge of KBFC. The fourth time that these two sides will have the opening round and the opening match in the Hero ISL. It's going to be intriguing because Kerala Blasters have changed a lot of their players. ATK have strengthened, and I've already mentioned the likes of, a Williams and a Krishna being in there, but the introduction as well of Sandis Jingan could just shore things up at the back, along with the likes of Sumit Ratti, the youngster that came through last year, Prabir Das, that was really, really exciting and gave us so much joy last year.
All right, on that note, let's hear from the man who goes by the name of Minister of Defence for the Indian national team, but has now switched sides from Kerala Blasters to ATK Moen Bagan, Sandesh Jingan.
For me, as a professional footballer, now I'm in ATK Moen Bagan, and this is my home, this is my family, this is where my soul is now, and I'll do everything to get the job done with the team. And also, of course, it has that hype thing that's going to be ATK Moen Bagan versus Kerala, me being here and there. But for me, as a footballer, it's just another game and give my best, stick to the system, do what the coach wants me to do, and get the job done, get the 3 points, and move on from there.
The Hero I-League title-winning coach Kibu Vicuña will now be in charge of Kerala Blasters FC, and this is what he had to say.
Each competition is different, every league is different, and every season is different. We have the advantage that we know how to do it and try to succeed and get the objectives. Of course, we have to play a good season to do a good job, and it's going to take time. And now we are in the pre-season, and we have to go step by step in order to win and to get our objectives.
There's so many subplots as always. Sandesh Jingan, yes, the coach as well. But apart from that, just the fans, and these are two of the most well-supported sides in the whole of Indian football.
There will be, and I can't wait to see what social media provides for us, because it'll be a wash of yellow and a wash of maroon and green as well, because the fans will be out in force. There's no doubt about that. Even if they're at home or in the groups that they're allowed to be in over there in India, getting around the televisions and watching these games. So it's exciting times from that point of view, that at least all eyes are going to be on that opening fixture.
Right, so that's as far as the first fixture is concerned. The next one comes in the form of the Highlanders, who are going up against the Islanders, led by Sergio Lopera. Then there's the finalists of Season 5 going up against each other. That's a mouth-watering prospect. Then Odisha FC are in action for the first time in Season 7, taking on Hyderabad FC. Strikers have swapped, so that's an interesting subplot in there. One of the most familiar names and faces in the Hero Indian Super League, Marcelinho, might have moved from Hyderabad FC to Odisha FC, but he can't wait to get started.
The typical number 9, very clever, very intelligent. I like how he scored the goal, and I think it will be very good match to watch against Hyderabad. It's a very funny fact that we changed team. I came to Odisha, he moved to Hyderabad, and I wish him not score against me, but very good season ahead. It will be a very nice match to watch against Hyderabad.
Then we move to 24th of November, where we get JFC up against the two-time champions Chennai FC. I'm sure you'd want to talk about this one, because Owen Coyle has switched sides, and so has Nereus Valskis.
Yeah, I remember your goal celebration when he scored a goal. Valskis! Nearly broke my eardrums. I think it's interesting. I think I mentioned a little bit earlier with John Gregory being at Chennai and the disastrous start that they had. Owen Coyle came in, settled the ship very quickly and steered them through to the final. I found it a surprise that they managed to let him go. But, what's their loss is JFC's positive, as it were, because I'm sure with the signings that he has made with the likes of Valskis and the likes of Hartley with that experience in there, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Let's hear from one of the newest recruits for Jamshedpur FC and Owen Coyle, Peter Hartley.
We've had a tough week so far. I'm expecting us to be a very fit team, and I'm looking forward to the challenge with Jamshedpur in the ISL. It's going to be a very exciting season. With regards to the gaffer, I've played against his teams in the past, extremely fit, enthusiastic, play very good football. So I'm honoured to be part of the process to help this club move forward and improve.
That's just the first round of fixtures, then beginning with Kerala Blasters and ATK Mohun Bagan and ending with Owen Coyle taking on his former side. Move to round 2 now. The first one stands out on the 25th of November because there's a little matter of Sergio Lobera, who's left Goa, will be in Goa but in charge of Mumbai City FC. How do you look at this one?
I looked down the fixtures, and when I saw them, there's 2 that jump out, but this was the first one that jumped off the page purely and simply because, you know, the likes of Burma, Fal, Mandar have all left Goa to go to Mumbai. Libera as well is another link and another connection there. It's just frightening the amount of players that have decided to leave there and go, you know, to Mumbai. Fumu as well. How can we forget him? Being player of the season last year.
It's not just Goa's coach who's moved to Mumbai City FC. He's taken his captain from Goa along with him, and that's Mandar Rao Desai. And this is what Mandar had to say.
It was really great playing for FC Goa for the last 6 years. Had a lot of achievement from there, and now I have to play against them. But I'm really glad to be part of Mumbai City, and I'm really pumped up to play against them.
It's going to be a real battle because there is no way on this planet that Goa will want to be beaten by Mumbai. Have Mumbai got enough time to prepare for this game so that the players that were already at Mumbai, can they be seasoned to what Sergio Lobera wants from his side? It may take them a few games to find their feet. That's where it could be very interesting. But, I mean, again, with what's happening at the moment in the world, anything could happen.
Well, certainly anything could happen when you toss further down that list and look at November 27. Look what's happening there. The first local derby of Hero ISL is finally here, and that's SC East Bengal taking on ATK Mohun Bagan. This is easily the biggest clash in the first 7 or 8 days.
I mean, you turn around and you mentioned earlier about the fans, Anand, and it is just such a shame that fans have to stay away because of the way that the world is now, because I'm sure that would have been a packed, absolutely jam-packed Salt Lake Stadium had this fixture been allowed to have been played where it should, rather than Goa. Big news, obviously, Robbie Fowler coming in for East Bengal, SC East Bengal. That's big news for me. He's signed a few shrewd signings and a few older heads as well that know their way about the ISL.
Well, he won the ISL with Chennai FC, then he won the ISL again with ATK Mohun Bagan. Now he's all set to ply his trade for his brand new side in SC East Bengal.
My target always has been the same from when I started playing football, to give my 100% on the field and off it. So SC East Bengal is one of the biggest club, and with the very best to bring joy and glory.
அதாச்சு என்னன்னா இப்போ ஏடிகே மோகன் பகன் அவங்க வந்து ஹலோ காய்ஸ் யாராச்சும் இருக்கீங்களா?